I'm Serenity Ravenwolf, the lead love officer of the Lead with Love movement.
And I'm Kaylin Ravenzi, the Chief Celebration Officer of Celebrate You, and together we are Lead Love Celebrate TV. We are so excited to have you here today, and we have a very special guest today. We've got a very, very special show. Today is Tapping into the Universe Part 2, and riding the waves of sound vibration to success. And here today on our show to help support us and our success and our healing and our wellness, our well-being, we have this special guest, Sharon Card from Sound Wellness. She is going to help us ride this wave of sound vibration success, just like we're on a magical carpet ride. Oh, Serenity, I'm so excited for today.
I know, Summer. And Kaylin, as we're learning to remember to do calls to action, I'd like to let everybody know that's just showing up that if you're just joining us, I'd love you to type in the comments where you're from in the world, because it's amazing to know just how far you can reach. And it makes me just love technology even more. It's just so yummy and delicious. And as you're doing that, I'd like to introduce our special guest. If you don't mind, I will just read it because it's too important to me to get it right.
Yeah.
So please let me welcome you to a special show with today's great guest, Sharon Khan. Sharon is an author, speaker, musician, recording artist, sound healer, Reiki master, and consultant. Sharon is the founder of Sound Wellness and Sound Wellness Institute. Through the Sound Wellness Institute, holistic health practitioners receive the highest level of competency training in Canada in using sound and music to support their practice. Sound wellness programs are at the forefront of education in how sound and music can be easily applied to your everyday life to reduce stress, help you concentrate, energize you, inspire you, and support your health. Sharon, thank you for joining us and welcome.
Thank you. I am so excited to be here. Thank you both.
For those of you just joining, you're welcome to Lead Love Celebrate TV. The topic today is Tapping into the Universe, Part 2, joining the wave of sound vibration to success with special guest Sharon Khan from Sound Wellness. And good news, we have a new show schedule webpage where you can view the upcoming show topics and catch the replay of each show easily from one page. And in a moment, Sharon, I must admit also, and something that isn't in your bio, that you are my go-to person for everything sound and vibration. And you are an all-round, amazing, yummy, gorgeous, loving, compassionate. I don't know. I just love you.
Oh my
That's all I can say. I'd like to invite you to share your content, Sharon.
Oh, I would I would like everyone to first imagine dropping a drop of water into a still body of water, a still pond, or even your sink before you start the dishes. What happens when you drop a drop of water into the pond or into a still place of water? It creates a depression and then ripples that go out. Well, this is kind of how sound works. Sound is defined as vibrational energy. And the interesting thing about sound is that it can actually change how matter itself vibrates. And that blows me away when I think about it. Sound is a very physical energy in that sound goes through you. In order for sound just to move, it has to push against atoms and molecules. That's how sound moves. That drop of water creates the energy that creates the ripples that go out. Well, you are 70 to 80% water, and the same thing happens to you when a sound comes to you and through you. So I wanted to show just a few pictures here to give you a sense of what this is like. And I have one book here called Water Sound Images. and that might be
Ooh.
backwards on the screen. And this is
Perfect.
mostly the effect of sound frequency on water. So first, before I show you the picture of what this looks like, I want to play this sound by the microphone. This is a tuning fork that's tuned to 128 hertz. So here's what it sounds like. It's quite a low sound. And here is what it looks like on a drop of water.
Wow.
Whoops, sorry about that.
That's
Let me bring it back.
amazing.
Mm.
Isn't that beautiful?
Mm-hmm.
This is
Wow.
the ripples. Now you are 70 to 80% water. This is what
Right.
that sound does to you when you place this sound on your body. Sound goes through you faster than it goes through the air. So it is affecting every particle of matter within you as it creates those ripples and waves as they go through you. Remember, sound has to move atoms and molecules. It pushes against atoms and molecules as it travels. So it's doing this to your atoms and molecules as it goes
Wow.
through you. Now, this creates wave forms, and in a way, everything matter is wave form. And this comes from the field of cymatics, which is so fascinating. And here are some waveforms. Now, if you look at this waveform on the bottom, and then the turtle shell.
Wow.
So the waveform on the bottom beside the turtle shell is sand on a steel plate that has been vibrated to a very specific frequency of 1088 hertz. So that frequency of 1088 hertz created exactly the same shape and structure as the turtle shell. And this is that deeper part of sound that we're just starting to realize, that sound structures matter. And as far as how it helps you and how it heals, I wanted to share a few things. One more picture. Well, actually, this is two pictures. And this comes from Messages from Water by Masaru Emoto. And many of you may be familiar with this wonderful man's work. This picture here is a picture of tap water in Japan. And
which one? The one on the left or the one on the right?
the one, it's the one that's the darker and less formed.
Okay, perfect.
That's
Thank
tap
you.
water in Japan. And here is a picture of the same tap water after it has been prayed over.
Reminds me of why I bless my water before I drink it, before I eat my food. Anything that
Absolutely.
has liquid or moisture in it.
Absolutely. Well, then, and you think about it too, when you go to various faiths, when they had their sacrament, they had their communion, they bless it. Of course, this is exactly what's happening.
And I agree with
this
Kim
is
O'Neill.
beautiful.
Kim says, I love that he shared his work with the world, and so do I. I think
do
it's
too.
amazing.
I do too.
It totally changes
Thank
the
you.
way we see and do things.
Yeah.
Yes. And when you combine the work he did with sound and word with its application for healing, the possibilities are unlimited. And our awareness then expands because we know that sound goes through us. Any sound in your environment, the sounds of the traffic on the street outside, the sounds of the wind in the trees, the birds, your own voice is the most powerful sound that goes right through you.
Well,
Mhm.
Sharon, every word, every note, every letter we
Yes.
utter has a vibration.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, yes. And here, one of the things that I love to encourage people with, because the most powerful sound that you have is your own voice. So I
Yes.
encourage you to become aware of the sounds you are creating with your own voice and the emotional undercurrent. That's called that tone of voice. That is that emotional undercurrent underneath it. That goes through every particle of your being before the
Yeah.
sound of your voice even leaves your mouth. So
Wow.
that is a fact of how sound travels that helps me when I learned this to become much more conscious of my voice, how I
Yeah.
use it, my tone of voice, and all of those other things. It's so important that we become more aware of the sounds around us and how they're affecting us, because it really is the magic carpet ride. And I love how you said that. Because
Yeah,
it
and Sharon,
really
too, we can
is.
use it. We can use it. Oh, lots of things. The music we listen to, the TV
Yes.
shows we watch, the people we
Yeah.
hang with, the resonance of their voice, but especially our voice. You know, and the things we say to ourselves, even internally in our chatter mind, is creating a vibration within the water of our body to either support us or to sabotage us. And it's which one are we doing?
Right.
You know, it's like that water that was blessed and it changed after you blessed it. Are you blessing
Mhm.
yourself in some ways and being nice and loving to yourself to change
Right.
the water of our bodies to support us on this magical carpet ride?
You know, it's interesting that you bring this up, Sharon, because I've discovered when I am with my clients and I'm in a session, and as I start getting to like the core of what is happening within their hearts, and they're starting to peel things back, I notice that my voice gets really like into my heart space, very deep, and it gets very quiet, and it's just so pointed. And oftentimes I feel like, who's speaking? You know, because there's this message coming out, but this vibration that's within me as I'm speaking to them, and there's this, they feel that too. And I almost wonder, does that have healing properties? Can our voice have healing properties?
That's a fabulous question, Kaylin. And yes. Answer.
Good.
And it's
Yes.
interesting you mentioned that the sound gets lower, because there are two main principles in the use of sound for healing. And this applies to birds, it applies to water, it applies to music, it applies to your voice, it applies to all sound, is that usually the lower sounds tend to help us discharge excess nervous energy from the nervous system. So that's releasing stress. So when you move into that low area of the voice and you slow that down, that's relaxation. And that helps. And because we entrain to each other, we empathically, is that when someone is speaking to you that way, we entrain to that resonance. Now, if you need a little bit of perk me up and you need to really get some more energy flowing, then you move into the higher range of the voice and you stimulate the nervous system, and it really gets going. So yeah, that's a bit much for me. So I have to go back to
And that's for me, Sharon. I use that when I feel like nervous and fearful and my voice rises.
Yes.
And when it's a higher pitch voice like you just did, it feels like it's more in my head.
Very much.
And that makes me feel light, giddy, airy, less grounded. And the way I handle that and what I do is I just, and I feel instantly it's like an elevator going from the head down to the heart. And I find that is the easiest tool to support me for my success. And the magic carpet ride is to constantly keep reminding myself consciously to keep popping down into my heart.
There's also
Speak from there.
There's also the other side of that. For example, when you're driving a long distance, and then you also need to stay awake. So for that, then it helps to have music that's a little livelier, that has maybe some higher frequencies, or even the voice, and even humming. You can still say, stay grounded and stimulate the nervous system and the brain by humming a higher sound in the higher range of the voice. So it doesn't get too much flightiness, as you were mentioning, Serenity. So it keeps you grounded, but also stimulates the brain, so you stay awake. So those principles, play with them and explore with and notice in some of your favorite music that just makes you feel just so energized. What sounds, what kinds of sounds are in there? How fast does it go? How slow does it go? Because our heartbeat will match the beat of any music in our environment in about 5 minutes, 4 to 5 minutes. We cannot turn that off. That's another way that we're wired for sound. You're wired
so we
for
could
sound.
do that with our clients and children, or helping anyone on the journey of like being a coach or a guide, like that's like in NLP they call it I've even totally forgot. It's like it's a modeling, and you take them on the journey. You slow down your breathing, lower your voice, which does the same with their nervous system, and calming their nervous system, and you take them on the journey with you.
Now, let's focus on this for just a moment. What happens? This used to be me years ago when I would get all excited with my kids. I would start getting into those higher realms, the nervousness, the anxiousness, and nothing seemed to get accomplished in those realms. I think of someone trying to give me a sales pitch, and they get into those high realms. They've gone into their head, and they're trying to convince me with their mind and the logic, as opposed to if we sink and go down with those tones and we speak from that heart, and there, as I discovered later on in life, that speaking from the heart with my kids is way more effective than it was yelling at the top of my lungs, right?
Well, the same would go for the clients or anybody, really. We're at 1:15, so I'd just like to, for those of you just joining us, welcome to Lead Love Celebrate TV. The topic today is Tapping into the Universe Part 2, Riding the Wave of Sound and Vibration to Success, with our special glorious guest, Sharon Kahn from Sound Wellness. Now, Sharon, before we wrap up the show, because it's only a 20-minute show, I could talk to you for hours.
Oh, same here. This is way too short.
Okay? We have to do this again, absolutely, and make it
absolutely.
Is there anything else before we wrap up that you'd like to quickly share, a powerful tip, a powerful tool with our viewers?
Yes, I would love to. And the main thing I would love to share today is to become aware of the sound around you, because every sound around you, including your voice, goes through you. And as it goes through you, it's moving every atom of your being. So become aware of this and know that it is moving you. And what do you choose? How does it feel? And what would you choose instead if it doesn't feel right?
So Sharon, thank you. This is so beautiful. And what I'd love to have you do is invite our viewers to how they can connect with you and learn more about this beautiful realm of sound wellness, please.
Oh, thank you, Kaylin. Actually, I would love to invite people over to the website at soundwellness.com. And if you like what you see there, if you like what you've heard today, I invite you to consider joining our newsletter list. I send out an article every week, usually about something new about sound and how it affects you. And this month, the articles are all about spring cleaning for the soul. And how sound helps you do that. So I welcome you over there. We have a couple of gifts of little booklets, one for practitioners and helping practitioners on how sound can help you build your practice, and also some self-care tips, another booklet. So you can choose one or the other or both. And I would love to welcome you there.
I just
Oh,
found out where the
Sharon.
agenda that I create disappears to. I create this agenda with these lovely comments, and then when I start and go live, I go, "Where are they? Where are they?" I go, oops, can't
Get
find
your
them again. Oh
magnifying
well.
glass, my dear. Get your magnifying glass.
Hang on. Oh, there
There
it
you
is. Will we
Oh
blind
my
you?
goodness.
Well,
Yes.
if I look like I'm squinting, everybody, it's probably because I am. We have,
We
and
just-
sadly, it's time. It's 19 past the hour.
I
Sadly,
know.
it's time to wrap up another show. Again, Sharon, thank you so much for being here. I could speak to you for
Thank
almost
you.
an hour.
Oh, thank you.
You know,
Yes.
we have a 2 week, and I'd like to thank all, especially our viewers, for being here. Why Kaylin and I, and I'm pretty certain Sharon as well, why we are here is because of you. We
Yes.
love you from the depths of our hearts, and sharing a little piece of us to allow a little piece of our hearts to go with you and stay with you always is why we're here.
Yes.
And I'd like to let you know that we have a 2 week break to the next show as Kaylin is traveling. God bless her cotton soul.
Yes.
And
Thank you.
next show is on May 10, USA time zone, and the topic is finding your peace, as in Piece, playing on the word P-E-A-C-E, the magic of meditation.
Ooh, it's going to be wonderful.
And we're going
I'm
to
looking
share
forward to
how that, and meditation isn't exactly always what you thought it is. It's not this difficult thing.
Right.
We'll share with you some ways that it can be really, really, really easy.
And so
And you can head
yummy.
on over. I've created another agenda here too we have again the new that one show page where you can
Oh, nice.
see all the upcoming shows and the topics. You can click on and watch the replays. And yes, I've been busy.
She has, and it's just been amazing. Thank you, my love.
You're welcome. Kaylin, would you like to wrap up?
I would. Everyone,
I-
thank you so much.
Yep.
Sharon, I'm just going to say from the bottom of our hearts, thank you. Thank you for showing up in this beautiful world the way that you do, with helping us be grounded with sound. So, as we love to end, may you rejoice in the unique magnificence of your being, that in the here of this now has the power to transform all who enter the light of your eternal presence as you lead, love, celebrate. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.